Hello everybody, it's Wendy, and today we are going to do a really cute multi-strand stretchy kind of bracelet using products from the Potomac Beads Treasure Edition box. So first of all, our encouraging word for today is Ecclesiastes 3:11. He has made everything beautiful in its time. All right. So the Potomac Treasure Box, it is really pretty this month and colorful. And I love these table cut beads. I thought they were so pretty. And then we had these mixes of just, oh, these beautiful, beautiful little colors. So we're going to do this bracelet. Now, I had said I wanted to do a multi-strand thing because they have these cones in here, which are perfect for this. So this is going to be fun. I have a lobster claw clasp. I have some little crimp beads. Now, these are just tiny, like, just 2mm, maybe. I think I have a 3mm there. It's, you know, you just need to be able to fit your cord through them. Here is a ring for my lobster to clasp onto. I do have some jump rings out here in case, you know, I would need them. I'm not sure exactly what I'm gonna, how I'm gonna string it up. I'm just kind of got the idea in my head. So, and then we've got this stretch cord. This is Potomac's stretch string. It's 0.8mm and it's no fray, latex free elastic cord. Okay, this came in the box this month. So what I've done already is I've taken an eye pin. You're going to need 2 eye pins, one for each end of your bracelet. Okay, so I've taken an eye pin and I have taken the cord and literally, I'm going to show you right here how I do it, but I've already done a bunch of them just for time's sake. So let me scoot these out of the way. All we're going to do is take the cord, and I think I can fit one more on here. I am going to go through the loop on my eye pin here. I hope I can fit one more. If not, I'll have to show you on the other side how I did it, but it's not hard at all. I'm just running out of room. Let's see if I can stretch this down a little. I really do want to get this last one through here. Yeah, if you kind of pull it down a little and make some room there. And I'll tell you how many I have here in a minute. I'm not even sure how many I have here. There we go. Okay, so we go right through the little eye pin. Then I'm going to take my crimp bead and I'm going to put it right on this cord, okay? And this is why you might need a little bit of a bigger one because you're going to pass through the cord twice with your crimp bead. Now, I have been using these small ones and haven't had any trouble getting through there twice. I'm going to put this one on. I think that one actually has another one inside of it, so let's try this guy. And I believe he's a 2mm crimp bead, okay? And then all I'm going to do is take this tail, where's my tail? There it is, and just go back through my crimp bead. So just like this. And I'm just going to crimp this down flat. All it's doing is holding our elastic on. And if you don't crimp it very hard, I mean, if you just gently crimp it flat, it's not going to cut your elastic cord. I've never had it do that, and I have done this technique a lot. Okay, so I'm just going to scoot it up here. See that? I'm going to take my chain nose pliers, and I'm just going to flatten it gently. You want it to be strong enough, so tug it, but you don't want it to cut your cord. So let's see how many pieces I have on here. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay? So 7 strands. Now, I'm going to start stringing these strands up. Now, I'm going to take, let's see, let's do 2 here. We'll pull out, we'll do 3 on the top, 3 on the bottom, and then that 7th strand in the middle is the one I'm going to string up first. So this is the one that's going to have our bigger beads on it, right in the middle. So I've got these table cut beads, and I've got a bunch of these really cute little bicones, but I think I'm going to use these little bigger blue beads right here in between these table cut beads. So let me grab all of those out that I have. think that's all of them. So this is going to go up in our cone like this, okay? So the first few beads that you put on here are really not going to show. So let me separate those back out again. 3, and 3, and then there's my middle. So I'm going to start by stringing up a few of these little delicas that they had in the box this month, just to fill in that end, so I don't have to, you know, I want the beads, the colored beads, the blue beads and the green beads to show. So I'm just going to do probably 4 or 5 of these little delicas, and I'm just going right up to the crimp. And there's 4. Let me do one more. So 5 little delicas. Now your stretchies, you want to make this, you know, you have to measure your own wrist to see how long you need this to be. So that'll depend on your wrist size, okay? And then I'm going to put a blue bead on here. One of my table cut beads. You could use a large hole needle if you wanted, but I think that I can do it without it actually. Okay, another blue bead. Another table cut. Okay, blue bead. Table cut bead. Blue bead. Now, let me measure this. What I'm going to do is lay this up here and this here. So this is going to go down to probably, yeah, right about there. So I actually need to put another couple of delicas on up here. I should have checked that first. So I'm going to put 2 more delicas on, just so that it pokes out I don't want the blue bead up in the cone. So 2 more delicas, let me check it. I think this should be good. Okay, then I'm going to put my cone on. Yeah, I think that's, well, I'm going to actually add a couple more. So I've got 7. I'm going to do about 10 on here, just to cover that so I don't waste the blue beads, the colored beads, the bigger beads. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Okay, now let's try this. Okay. Yeah, so that's going to be pretty close to, that's where we need it to be. So you're going to go about 10 delicas in, okay? And then we're going to restring this. So, blue bead. I should have checked that, I'm sorry. Table cut bead. I've been in the middle of about 1,000,001 projects today. I've been working on resin and seashell projects. I'm wanting to do some seashell jewelry. My aunt and uncle, they live in a 55 and older community in Edgewater, and they have a craft show a couple times a year. And I think I'm going to try to set up there at their craft show, so I need to have some stuff to take. So I've been just working on that a little bit and trying to use some of the seashells up that I've been picking up on the beach. Okay, so now let me take a look here. So I've got this back to where it was. Let's put this guy back on here and just see how it's gonna, yeah, that's good. Okay, so then when we get this one on, now I need to measure and just see how long this is. So I'm right at about 5 1/4 inches. So I'm gonna add another table cut bead, and another blue bead. And then that will be the length that I'm going to go with. Because by the time you put your lobster on, and you know, you might want to do a couple rings for adjustment purposes with the lobster. So let's go right here. Okay, so now on this other end, what I need to do is I need to add my 10 delicas. So I'm going to do 10 just like I did on the other end. 1, 2, 3. And don't worry, I'm not going to make you watch me string every strand, but I just wanted to show you how I do the first one. 4, 5, 6, 7, and 3 more. 8, 9, and 10. 8, 9, 10. So let's get that on there. And let's just put this on it just to check it, which I just want to make sure I'm getting my length pretty close. So if that's on there, right about there, I've got right at 6 inches. Yeah, so my 6.5 inch wrist, if I add another blue bead and table cut bead, it's going to be way too long. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take this cord and put it right through like I've been doing on all of them. Whoops, I have to put the crimp on first, don't I? So you put your little crimp bead on. Just like this. And then we're going up and around through our little eye pin and back down through this crimp. Now, you want to make sure that there's no gaps between your beads when you pull this through. If I can get it through here. And it probably is easier to use a large hole beading needle to do this, but I have one, I just don't know where it is. By the time I hunt for it, it probably would be worth it actually, because I'm having to, or I may just find a bigger crimp. As long as your crimp is down solid onto your elastic, you're in good shape. See, sometimes you can take this and I can press it down here and get this through it. There we go, just like that. Yeah, okay, there we go. And then I'm just going to pull it up. Now I want to make sure this is tight, but I don't want it to be, you know, crazy tight, because it needs to be able to have a little flexibility. So just when you crimp this up, you know, make sure there's just a little bit of wiggle room, but not so much that you've got gaps between your beads. And we're just going to take the crimp bead and smash it down. Give it a tug. It's solid. It's not going to go anywhere. And then I'm just going to cut this off. I just leave a tad bit of a tail just so it's there. Okay, and then see, this is what it's going to be. Okay, so I'm going to string up my other strands. Now I'm not going to use this table cut one, but I am going to use all of these. And I'm just going to try to vary them. So I don't know if I'll do, I may actually not do all 3 strands. We'll see. I don't know if I'll have enough beads to do all 3 strands. But I'm definitely going to do one on each side of this one. And I do have all of these clear bicones and little blue bicones. Excuse me, I sneezed. That I can use as well. So let me just get all these out from the... And I'm going to stick with 10 of these delicas on the end of each row, just like I did. And that will make it the exact same length on both ends. Okay, so just going to pull out those guys. So, you know, to start my next strand, I'll take my 10 delicas and I'll put them on. And I love all these little, they've got little flowers in here. They've got little drops. It's just going to make a really pretty, almost like a little patchwork looking thing, I think. 1, 2, 3, right? Yeah. 4, 5. Oops. 5 here. 6. 7, 8, 9. There's 7, 8, 9, and one more. 10. Okay, so go ahead and scoot those on down. Just like that. Now you do want to make sure they go up inside there all the way, because if it happens to be a little bit tighter in there than you think, but it won't matter if 1 or 2 of them shows, honestly, it's not going to. So I'm going to put a clear bicone, and I'm just going to string this strand up just randomly. So a clear bicone, let's see, let's do this guy, this little guy right here. Now I do have some teeny weeny little bead caps here, and I could use these as well. Think if they'll fit through. Yeah, they will. They're super tiny and cute. So let's do this. Let's do this just like this. Okay, so I'm going to do a couple of those. And then I'm just going to randomly put this together. I'm mixing in a little bit of the blue in each strand, these navy or dark blue bicones. And then, like, let's see, let's do an orange flower. The flowers are kind of cool because, see, they cup around the bead. So if you wanted to do like a yellow flower back to back with your orange one, it would look kind of cool. So just like that. And then, you know, I'm just going to just fill this in with all the beads. I'm going to try to do all of the strands. If I run out of beads, then I might do only 2 strands on each side, but I'm going to try to fill up all 3 strands on each side of this. So go ahead, string all of your little beads on. See, this little drop is super cute. I hope it'll fit over this. Yeah, it does. So just string all of your little beads on. Now, I did go through the mix and pick out. I did not use some of the colors. So for mine, whoops, I just about dropped a bunch of stuff. So for mine, I didn't use the pinks and these light blues. I did need to use that guy. There's some whites in here that I did need to use, but I didn't use just some of, like the blacks, I didn't use the light blues, the pinks. I don't know. I just didn't, and the greens. I didn't necessarily want to put the greens with this, any of them. So I just think it looks better without them, and that's just my opinion. And these like turquoise ones, I didn't use them either. So you can pick out whichever beads, you know, obviously do it however you want to do it, but this is how I did it. So I'm just going to string them all up, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I have all of my strands strung up. I think this is so pretty. Oh my goodness. And I would advise you, so the only one that I hooked on at first was the middle, just so I could see where to measure the rest of them. Now we're going to hook them all on, and my best advice is to put bead bugs on these, okay? Because you do not want to pick this up and have all your beads fall off, and that's what I've done so many times. So I'm going to put bead bugs on them. And then I'm going to start with the middle. So here's my middle strand. On this side of it, I need to put this guy. So I'm just doing the same thing that I did before. Put the crimp bead on. Put it right through here. Over. And back through the crimp bead. Like that. Pull it tight, but make sure it's not, you know, weirdly tight, like stick straight or poking out straight, or strange, I mean. And then you just want to gently crimp that crimp bead down. give it a tug, and if it is snug, then just trim it off here. Okay, and we're going to do that with all of them. So the next one in line is this one. And it doesn't matter if you get a couple overlapped or something, it's not that huge of a deal. I just am trying to keep them in the order that I have them on here. But you don't have, I mean, it's not like going to matter really, because they're all going to be clumped up together. Okay, and then this one right through here. Okay, and back through the crimp. Okay, pull it up. And some of them I ended up using like 8 little seed beads. Some of them I ended up using 9. I just tried to make it look even. And, oh, I cracked the seed bead on that one. Whoops. Okay, it's all right. And then I'll cut that off. So I just tried to make the strands even. So now we're going with this guy. Get my crimp on first. Keep forgetting to do that. And this crimp actually had another crimp bead inside of it. I couldn't get it out. So I'm just going to crimp them both, I guess. If this will go back through there, that is. Yes, it will. Okay. Pull it. Just trying to scoot it back down a little so I don't crimp my seed bead again. Now that one was a little hard to crimp down because it had another crimp bead inside of it. I couldn't get it out though. So I'm just going to make sure that that one's down really good. It is. And cut that off. Okay, now we're doing our 3 over here. So go ahead and hook your 3 over here on, just the same as you did those, and come right on back. Okay, so here's what we've got. I love this. It's just a big fluffy bunch of colorful goodness. So we're going to take our cone and we're going to insert it right in the end here, just like that, on both ends. Actually, we'll just do one end first. And then I'm going to put a clear bicone and one of these little blue bicones. Okay, so just like that. And then we're going to make a wrapped loop. So I am going to bend this 90 degrees. I'm making sure that these are pushed down in there. You want your strands to be up in the cone really well, okay? And you want to wrap this loop down towards your beads. So 90 degrees there. Grab my round nose pliers, coming up and over, just like that. Rotate up, come under, and then I'm just going to grab this right here and then wrap with another pair of pliers. And I'm just going around a couple of times. The wrapped loop is just for security. I want to make sure that, you know, it just doesn't go anywhere. Okay, we're going to cut that off right here. And then one way that I tuck is I use crimping pliers. And if you take that little snag that's sticking out there and just use your crimpers, you can tuck it right in. It works great. Okay, now for the other end. Same thing. Where'd my other cone go? Okay, just like that. And you can kind of mess around with the strands. I kind of want that one to be on top, so just gonna put him right up through there. Not that he's gonna stay, but we'll see how it works. Okay, put this down here. Do a clear bicone and a little blue bicone. Okay, just make sure that's down in there real good so you have enough room. I'm going to take my round nose pliers, come up and over, rotate up and come under, and then I'm just going to wrap down towards my beads. So 1, and 2, and I'm going to go one more here. And then we're going to cut that off. Trim the snag or tuck the snag. Okay, and there we have it. So now we just need to add on our lobster and our ring. So for me, let me see how long this is. Where's my ruler? I lost it. Grab another one. That was loud, sorry. Okay. So I'm right at getting up on 7 inches, so I don't need to add anything extra. I may add a couple of rings here just for not that many, not nearly that many, but just to have a little adjustableness, if that makes sense. So there's one. We'll close that up. We'll put this little guy on here. And I may do one more and put a dangle on the end probably. So I'll take a little ball head pin and let's see, maybe my blue bicone, my clear bicone, and one more blue one. Like this. Make a little wrapped loop. Where did my round nose pliers go? Come right up and over, rotate up, come under. Just going to insert that right on there, and I know it's a jump ring. I could open it and just put it on once I've got it done, but it seems just as easy to do it this way for me. And then I'm just going to wrap a couple of times. Just like that. We have a cute little dangle on the end. Okay. Just like that. And then we're just going to put our lobster on this other end with a small jump ring. A little 6mm here. And this reminds me of a clown for some reason. The colors do, but it's very bright and happy. So there we have our bracelet. Put it on. You can buckle it. I would have to buckle mine up here at the top. Let me see if I can while I've got this. Just doing it with one hand is kind of hard sometimes. If you tuck it under, so here's what I've learned. If you kind of, well, that's not long enough. I was going to say if you kind of tuck that under, then, but you can kind of hold it with one hand and clasp it with the other one maybe. There we go. I'm going to pull this strand to the top a little bit. And there it is, just fluffy and fun and colorful. And wow, I really like it. I think it turned out super cute. Very springy, bright, and pretty. Now, if you wanted, you can twist these around each other because they're kind of stretchy, obviously, on the stretchy cord, but I don't know, I kind of like to just leave them like they are naturally in there. But there it is, super cute, pretty easy. It's time consuming just because it takes a while to string up all the little beads. But I did do a pair of earrings as well. So here's the little earring to go with it. Isn't that cute together? Just got the little dangle. And I will show you how I did that. So all I did for the earrings is I had 2 of the table cut beads, obviously, an eye pin. Okay. And then I just saved out the same of a few of the little beads. So here they all are. This is how I did it. And what I did is I went ahead and put this guy on the eye pin with my blue bicone on top. Okay. And then I just made a regular loop on this one. So just bend this 90 degrees. I usually cut a little less than my finger's width. Roll the loop back. Like that. And then I have these little fishhook ear wires. I think I got these from AliExpress. I'm just going to hang this right on here. Okay, and then it's been a couple days since I made these, so I'm going to have to study what I did here for a second. So it looks like I did... Okay, so the thing about these little drops is you have to have the right kind of jump ring, and it takes a kind of a small, thin jump ring. It definitely has to be thin to hang these little drops on, but this is what I did. So I took this little drop here, hung him on my jump ring. Now, one thing I did find with some of these beads was the hole wasn't completely through all the way, and I had to be careful to not break it. So I'm just going to take it and just close it in here. I just put the two ends of the jump ring inside those two little holes on this Bracelet style thing and close this in. Well, and see there, I did it again. I broke my... That's the thing. You have to be super careful. Okay, so don't do that. Don't break your first one. On my second one, I've just taken the flower and put him facing down, and this little guy here. And I know these are ball head pins, but they're stainless steel and fairly thick. So I did not make wrapped loops with these little dangles because, number one, the dangles are super light. I don't think they're gonna, you know, pull the loop open. And number two, they are pretty thick for some reason because of the stainless steel, I guess. And then this next one I did like this. So put the flower facing up, the little blue thing, and then the little bicone, and then the little clear bicone. Just made a loop. You can do these however you want, obviously. I'm going to have to add some other bead on because I just broke my Bracelet bead, but obviously it did work over here, but I just wasn't as careful as I should have been on the other side. Okay, then we've got a clear bicone, this little guy here, and a blue bicone. Okay, just like that. And you know, honestly, if the earrings didn't like totally match, I don't think anyone would really notice because they're just going to kind of be hanging in the clump again, just like the bracelet. But so I may just leave that one off. We'll see. Okay, and then I have, okay, so this little guy on here by himself, and I promise this does work because I did it before, but you just take your little jump ring, open it up, and usually it'll go right in there. So it's almost like a pinch bail that you're doing. You're just putting it on either side of the little Bracelet drill holes, and then you just have to close it, but you have to be kind of careful when you close it, which is what I did not do on the other one. See, there, that just works fine. Okay, and then you can take it and hang it, which is what I've done with the one on the top there. I hung it from another jump ring, so just going to do that. So that's that one. This one, same thing. I just hung it from a jump ring. This long thin guy. Whoops, I messed that jump ring up a little bit. And these usually, I mean, I did, what, 3 on that one over there and didn't have any trouble. So usually if you just line the holes up and kind of pinch it in like you're doing a pinch bail, it works just fine. But I didn't do it very good on that last one. Okay. And then we've got this flower and another blue bicone on our ball head pin. Okay, there we go. Now, all I did, let me get it straightened up here. It's wanting to, there we go. So all I did is I took these oval jump rings right here and I just made a chain basically. So I hung, I'm going to do another, I'm just going to do a little white one at the top where that guy should be, because I don't have any more of those color ones. I broke one, and then I actually broke another one earlier, not doing that, but it just, the end of it was clogged, and I tried to stick my beading awl in it to unclog it, and it broke. So I've had several of these break on me, the beads, these little beads. There was another one that wasn't drilled. It didn't have any holes in it. So I don't know. I guess when they mass produce them, they can't check each little one, obviously, but the one that wasn't drilled was kind of cool too. It was like a pillow shape or something. It was very cool looking. Okay, so I'm just gonna hang this guy on here. And let's see, how did I do this? You just have to look and see. I hung it right from this. And again, if you don't do it exactly the same, I don't think it's going to be any big deal, honestly. As long as they're all on there. I mean, okay, then the next one. So I hung it from one of these oval jump rings. This is the blue. And I just hung it down from this one. Like that. Okay, the next one, what did I do here? There's the blue one. So this one I did directly on this jump ring as well. So I did this earring last Friday and had the bracelet all laid out to do it. And then the weekends get very busy for me. I am super busy every single weekend. And so I didn't get it done on Friday like I had wanted to. And so I couldn't remember exactly how I'd done it. Okay, so then I have 2 jump rings. 2 of these little oval ones. So 1 and 2 here, and they are hooked right on, yeah, they're hooked. Sadie, you hear her snorting. They're hooked right on the second one here. This one. Nope. There we go. Okay, put those 2 on. And then we've got, put that down. So next I have my orange one, and it is hooked on, I think it's hooked directly onto that one. Like this. Okay, then I have a white one, another orange one, and my last guy here on one. So let me grab one more jump ring. So this guy on here. This guy on here. Well, actually, I think he is hooked on with the ring too. Okay. So he goes right on here. And the little white one. So that's the earring. It's super simple, really. And I think it looks really cute with this bracelet. Let me put the white one on here. Oh, and I wanted to ask you guys, so somebody had mentioned that when I say I'm going to go put it on a form, then my video just switches off. And I was wondering if it's just them, like a setting they have or something on their computer, or if it's everybody. So you guys let me know. When I say a lot of times, you know, I'm going to go put this on a form and I'll be right back. There are a few times I've forgotten to do it or got distracted or something. But for the most part, I think I do it. So let me know. Are the videos shutting off, closing, or going to the end before I show them on the form? Or is that just that person's got something weird going on with their computer? So I told them I would ask because I'm curious and they probably are too. So let me know if when my video ends, like right now, I'm not going to put these on a form over there because, you know, you can see these pretty well right here. But if it was like a necklace or something like that and I say, you know, okay, I'm going to go put it on a form and I'll be right back, does it show me putting it on the form? Or do you see it on the form, or is something cutting off too soon? Because I need to know. And I told them I would ask. So let me know. I mean, on my end, it looks like that it's there. When I put it up, I put that clip on just the same as I do any of my other clips. So I don't know why it would be any different. But if it is, then I definitely need to figure out what's going on. So, all right, guys. Here are the earrings. Here is this cute little bracelet. I think this turned out really sweet. Check out potomacbeads.com if you're interested in subscribing to this treasure edition box. It really is a great box to work with and a good value. So check them out, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.